stories retold. Join the battle, the war's just begun. Tune in now, Gman's the one.
Hey everyone, welcome. How you doing? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Friday. So today guys, today we've got something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about drones, and this is kind of a complicated subject. I thought that I could easily make a video talking about like the best drones, this, that, and the other thing, but come to find out it's a lot more complicated than that. And just so you guys know, this all started because one of my viewers who is always commenting and watching my videos wanted me to make a video about comparing special edition drones with the regular versions. To the best of my knowledge, there's only two of those drones, the Wave and the new Ward. So I didn't think I could make a complete video on just those two drones. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna talk about those two, and then we're gonna jump in and look at maybe what the best the best things that you can get out of the black market. It's really hard to figure out, if I'm thinking of like free to play type of stuff, the black market is probably the best place to get things. It's just unpredictable what you're going to get, right? So we're going to talk about the best options in here. I know you really can't select that option, but we're going to talk about what I think might be the best bets from here. We're not going to talk about all of them because that's going to take a lot of time. Yeah, let's get into it. By the way, guys, I did do a poll on my channel just to kind of get some juices flowing. I actually asked you what you guys thought was the best free-to-play drone, and I gave you guys an option, Armadillo, Beak, Kestrel, because I think these were all pretty good. But then I left it open for other. Yeah, 1,100 responses, guys. That's pretty good return rate for this, and 72% of you said Armadillo. So yeah, and the Beak did pretty poorly. So I guess I don't know, I must be out of touch because I'm not using this type of thing anymore. Anyways, Kestrel I think is still better than 13% in my opinion. But a lot of you guys said the Hiroko, you guys said the Seeker. A few of you said Whiteout, which I think Whiteout is a good drone. So yeah, let's jump into the Ward and the Wave drones first, and then we'll come back and look at the black market option. Okay, let's do it. Okay, here we are in my personal drone hangar, and we're gonna go look at some level one guys. Okay, we've got this guy. We're gonna start with let's start with the Wave since it's older, right? There's a Sport Wave, so we can look at the Sport Wave, and basically what we got, guys, is you've got a weapon, right? Built-in weapon. You've got additional damage. You've got when your physical shields are broken, you get an Aegis shield, and you get more speed in the air. So that's pretty handy. And looking at the base numbers, you can see here that the built-in weapon does 1842. All right, so let's go compare that to the regular wave. There we go. And you can see here, well, you know, the rest of it, you can see the rest of it too, right? You've got 1842. I should have talked about that stuff too. The additional damage, 7%, a 20,000, a 20K Aegis shield, and 15% speed boost. Essentially, guys, that is exactly the same as the Sport Wave. So when it comes to the special edition of the Sport Wave, it really it doesn't matter. It's purely cosmetic. And what robots are these drones good for? So basically, you know, and these are not my favorite drones. I'm actually not even using any of them because I think they're kind of so-so. But you know, you gotta consider: do you have shields? And do you fly? That's kind of the two big things for this drone. So things like the shell, things like maybe the tier, bulwark. You know, you guys all have physical shields, but you don't fly. So maybe you could use this drone on those robots. And then the other side of it is, you know, you've got all kinds of flying robots, right? You got Aojun, you got Imugi, you've got the Siren and Harpy count as flying. Anyways, you know, you got all those different versions, but you don't have any shields. So you could use this drone on those robots. You just won't get the full benefit. And that, guys, is kind of what the theme, I don't know if the theme is the right word, but that's kind of what this video ended up boiling down to. I wanted to talk about the best drones, but you can't talk about the best drones without the robot. So it's really become kind of robot specific. You can use things on different robots, but you don't get all the benefits. So then it kind of becomes hard to say, well, what is the best? Maybe what is the best for a certain robot? Maybe. But you know, I wouldn't even use this on the Condor because I think the Oppo drone might be better. So, right? The other drone that is a special edition, guys, is the Ward, right? So we've got, let me see if I can grab this and scroll this over. Here is a level 1 Ward. And you can see here we've got, well, let's go here first. Let's do this first. So this is an interesting drone. You've got these warding eyes things, right? So the built-in weapon, right? And this basically works the same as the built-in weapon on the sword unit and the same as the arm weapons, the M's and the L arm weapons. So it's that whole, the more you hit, it does an extra like percentage of damage. So it's kind of an interesting mechanic. It's good against tanky things. And then you've also got additional damage. You've got on absorber lockdown, and you've got additional damage while in flight of its built-in weapon. So once again, guys, okay, so before we talk about that, let's go compare it. Here are the stats. The basic stats are 1023 for damage, the weapon, 9% additional for, you know, your robot and all your weapons. We've got this lockdown accumulation when you use your absorber shield, and then we've got this additional damage for the built-in weapon. So let's go check out the regular version. Remember those numbers, guys. So if we go over here and we look at, there's the regular version. The regular version, you see that, guys? Everything is the same except the additional damage number. 1023 built-in weapon damage, 7% instead of 9. 0.6 accumulation and 1% additional. So basically, They are very similar, except they are different. I believe this is the only drone that has two versions, and the versions are not the same, right? So we've got 9% versus 7%. And then if we want to talk about what robots are these drones good for? Essentially, this was designed for the sword unit because it has both flight and an absorber shield. But guys, there's one other robot in the game. Well, there's technically two, but one of them I think would probably be a very appropriate fit for, and that is the Ophion, because it has a shield and it flies. There is the Fafnir, but the Fafnir loses its shield while in flight. So I'm not sure. I'm not thinking that this is going to be very helpful for that robot. So ideally, this drone would be good on the sword unit and on the Ophion. But once again, I think the Oppo drone might be better. So, okay. Because it's kind of nice. You have a shield when you're in the air, and then when you land on the ground, you got another shield, right? So that's the beauty of the Oppo drone. Also, I think you've got some healing in there, so it's kind of handy. I'm not really seeing many people use this drone or that wave drone. I will say, before we do that though, let's talk about what other options, maybe not ideal, perfect options. Once again, we do have a lot of other robots in the game, all the Greek robots. So the Hades, the Nemesis, the Ares, as well as the Demeter. And is there something else? I feel like I am forgetting something, guys. But primarily, those are the other robots in the game that all have absorber shields. So you may be able to get the benefit of this lockdown, but you won't get anything for this additional damage because you can't fly. And then on the flip side of that is once again, we have a lot of flying robots in the game, right? Aojun, Imugi, Harpy, Siren, Ao King, and Ao Guang, and there's all kinds of stuff, but you don't have an absorber shield, so you may get that in-flight additional damage, but you won't get the lockdown. So it's really become that the drones are trying to be more robot specific. Let's change gears, guys, and go talk about what we can get in the black market, and talk about what we think is maybe the best drone in here. And maybe we could talk about what might be the best all-around drone. Because at the moment, I'm kind of thinking, the Oppo drone is the best. But if you don't fly or you don't jump, I don't think it's so great, right? Then you got to use jump unit, right? You could use jump unit. I see people doing that with the Raptors. Raptor jumps to begin with, but things like the Shell, other I've seen a lot of Ultimate Blitzes, which already has a shield, but then people put that jump unit on it, and he gets extra shields. So it's kind of difficult to fight. But I don't know. I just don't know if jump unit is really the way you want to go just to get the full benefits of that drone. Here we are. And once again, so a lot of these are super specialized. I think the Solar is a great drone, but you need to be a sniper. Another thing that's a great drone, Showdown. And you don't actually have to be a sniper, but you have to have stealth. So, right? So it kind of, this might work good on the Lynx. We all know it works pretty good on the Crisis. But then the Solar can work really well on the Crisis. It can work really well on the Bagliore. It can work really good on a Ravager if you're playing them all range, or a Jaeger for that matter. So it's really kind of dependent on the robot and how you're playing it. It just doesn't apply universally. I like the Kestrel, for example. So my Kestrel got 13% vote. You know, why do I like this? Because you're getting death mark, you're getting additional damage, you're getting speed when you kill someone, and you're getting some repair when you kill someone. So I still think that this is a great drone for things like the Lynx and Imugi, for example. Really, really good for those two robots. The Armadillo got a 72% approval rating out of those 1,100 votes. And this, I think, is truly an all-around drone. Almost anybody, almost any robot can use this. You get defense points for capturing a beacon. You get speed upon deployment, which is helpful, right? You get defense points on kills. And on a kill, you get to do some repair. So it's a pretty nice drone. It seems like a lot of you guys like to use it in extermination. Keeps you alive, helps you, get through those stages. So I think the Armadillo is probably the best all-around drone. But there are some other options here too. I really like the Seeker drone, guys. I really like the Seeker drone. But once again, it's kind of dependent. So if you have a shield, this is a great drone to have. But if you don't have an Aegis shield, then kind of depends. If you just want to use it to hunt down Crisis, Scorpions, Lynx, and you don't really care about maybe the shield part of it, I still think it's pretty handy because it's nice to have that permanent quantum radar, right? And you don't have to use a module for that. So and you've got counterblind and counter suppression. So it's a pretty handy drone. It may not be universal, but it's pretty close. Another really good, I think, pretty universal drone is the Shy drone. No one mentioned this as one of the others, but I think this is a pretty darn good drone. You've got on damage done defense points, right? You've got extra durability upon deployment. You've got extra speed when you reach low durability, and you have a last stand. Now the last stand does come at the beginning instead of the end, like a traditional last stand, but there are a lot of times you may get exposed to something that could kill you immediately, and this would protect you from that. So it definitely has an advantage, and you could run it with a last stand in your specializations and have last stand up front, last stand at the back. So I think that this is a maybe slightly underrated drone. You guys should definitely check it out. And another seemed like a favorite of you guys was the Hiroko drone. I used to really like the Hiroko drone too, but I am not running much, so I don't use unstable conduit. This is a very good match for the current unstable conduit. You're getting a built-in weapon, you're getting extra durability upon deployment, you're getting more durability every time you use a module. And this probably, guys, is one of the big keys. And then additional damage depending DOT. So you are then doing more damage depending on how much damage over time you take is, I believe, how it works. So it is a really good drone. I like it on tanky robots. I use it with advanced repair, like on the Ultimate Fenrir and even the regular Fenrir. But guys, I'm not using unstable conduit. Right now, I'm primarily using phase shift on almost everything because it basically keeps me alive, right? And to combat the unstable conduit users. But this is a very good drone. I'm just not sure. I wouldn't call it the best, but I think it's up there, especially if you're using unstable conduit. And then beyond that, guys, some people like the Reviver. I'm not a big, huge fan of the Reviver. It does have some benefits though. instant revival, right? If you basically hit 0 HP, boom, you're back alive. You can only do it once, but it's not too bad, right? And then you get a shield, and you get additional durability. So, but your shield will go away, right? So you'll get a shield upon deployment, but then it goes away. So, and other than that, I also like paralysis, but once again, it requires you to use certain modules. So that's kind of the tricky part about all of these things. And that's why it's so difficult. Pascal used to be a great drone until they kind of like made it specific. Basically, you have to use it with the Curie. It might work with the Condor too, because of this armor plates thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's I used to use it on everything, and now I only use it on the Curie. And then there are a lot of other, this is a pretty handy drone, the Hawkeye. But once again, if you don't have a reflector, then you don't get the shield breaker. So it kind of just depends on what robots you're using. It's really difficult to say one drone is the best drone. And then the other thing, guys, how do you get microchipped, right? That seems to be the big limiting factor with everybody. And I'm not sure. So I believe, guys, that when you have, robots and weapons in your hangar, that you should focus on them instead of chasing the meta and opening data pads and things like that, constantly trying to get something new and better. Because if you're free to play, then you don't have a whole lot of options because, you're not using money, right? So you're having to go for the free options. And the blue pads don't necessarily have anything really all that better than what you probably already have, unless you're a beginner, you just started the game. So I think that you can apply the same philosophy to upgrading your drones. It may take you a while to collect enough microchips. Someone has told me, and I can't show that right now because the once you do the your ads, that screen kind of disappears. But the daily ads, you get a certain amount of, I think you get like 8 microchips a day from ads. And I think there's also a, maybe it's not here. Maybe it's in the day. Let's see, I'm already done. I think there is a task for some microchips. So there's a few in the ads and then there's a few in the task. I believe there's like 8 a day. And then on the weekend, it's like 10. In Champion League, I think you can get like somewhere around 90, 91, something like that. But that's per month, guys. That's per month, just playing and watching your ads. So microchips are probably one of the hardest, most difficult resource to get. But I don't know what to tell you. That's the way they did it. And if you're not going to spend money, then you have to basically, once you get a drone, if you want to use that drone to its max, you've got to upgrade it to its max, right? You can't get a drone, upgrade it a little bit, and then get a new drone and upgrade it a little bit because you're only getting those basic benefits from it. I mean, I guess the initial benefit is probably its main benefit, but a lot of times that final benefit is the one that we all really want. So I think you guys gotta just save and save and save and keep focusing on one drone at a time. I mean, you don't have to literally focus on one drone, but just don't throw it away and get a new drone and start over. That's what I see so many people doing with their weapons and with their robots. They don't ever take it all the way. Guys, I got the Champion League in 1 year, free to play, twice, both with this main account and my baby account. So you can do it too, but you have to focus. You have to continue to upgrade the things that you already have instead of focusing and trying to get new stuff. So that's kind of my soapbox for you guys today. Just I really want you to focus on what you have. You know, if you win something in a giveaway, that's cool. I would maybe, you know, you could start upgrading that item because it'll make a bigger benefit sooner. But just, you know, try to focus on what you have instead of worrying about other stuff. Stuff gets nerfed, you know, try it and use it before you start, you know, saying, you know, my hanger's been nerfed. Just things aren't always as bad as it seems like. Okay, so yeah, I think we're gonna end there. This was kind of a strange video for me to make because I couldn't really do what I planned to initially. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree or disagree. If you have your preferences with drones and things like that, make sure you let me know in the comments. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I hope this was helpful. If it wasn't helpful, let me know that too. I'll do better next time. Anyways, you guys be nice to one another out there in the real world. I'll catch up with you soon. Bye for now.